Johnny, it's a pleasure to be sitting here with you today. Thank you for joining me.
It's my absolute pleasure. I'm glad that we met. It's wonderful.
It was really random how we met, too. I'm glad you walked in.
Absolutely. So,
Johnny, first I want to talk a little bit about your paintings. What got you started with painting?
I'm a natural artist. I paint every style that there is, and I had some very great influences over my lifetime. And some of the people that I was involved with were Walt Disney directly. He gave me lessons, and yeah, we used to sit together and paint where they shot the first flubber with Fred McMurray.
You're here, you're in White Rock,
Yeah.
you're loving life.
Yeah.
What is your next step? What are you doing?
Well, I'm doing an art exhibition at in Vancouver, in Chinatown, to aid these children from uh, China or Japan, and they go to a school where they learn how to do the dragon dance and all that stuff, and they're from one of the poorer countries. Yes, so my friend Klaus, who's a star, Michelin star, and some like Chevalier, he's been my uh, private chef for over 20 years. He has two restaurants, one in Chinatown and one in North Van, and we're holding an event in June to raise money for some children. And I'm honored to be able to be of a service like that, especially for children lost and brought from a faraway place. That's me, you know. Hey,
Amazing.
that's Hendrix. That's Andretti. That's Hendrix, you know. People love my dad. I can't go any place without hearing his music or seeing someone buying a Stratocaster and asking me to autograph it or take a photo with me, or people with hats on with a picture of my dad all embroidered, or their tattoos of my dad on their back or their side or their leg. It's wonderful. We used to sit and write together, and another time, if I'm invited back, I'll bring a guitar and play songs that my dad. I'll even play like the Purple Haze junk that everybody wants.
Yeah.
But the fact is, he wanted to break away from that. He wanted orchestras and all of this, you know, violins and French horns and cellos, everything. And everybody would tell him, no, just keep playing Voodoo Child and Purple Haze and Long Watchtower. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And he'd say, well, all right.
People would ask that because that's the Jimi Hendrix that they know.
Yeah, yeah.
But he wanted to start a different type of band,
Yeah.
a family band.
Right.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
How did you hear about that?
I do my research.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Well, my dad wanted my Uncle Leon and myself to get together when he came back from his touring with the Beatles, the Stones, the Monkees, the Doors, the Who, Eric Clapton. I know you guys have never heard of any of these guys, you know. Yeah, so my dad wanted to do that when he got back, but ultimately he passed away. It's weird, but no, it's not weird. When things are going really well, I can feel my dad putting his hand on my shoulder.
I think that socks tell a lot about a person,
Yeah.
and I'd like to know what socks you're wearing.
Well, let's see. Let's just show him if we can. I like Argyle, but I checked out your site and I wore 2 pair of socks, baby.
That is so cool.
Hendrix loves Argyle. My dad loved Argyle socks. Yeah, but the only thing was he didn't like shoes. He hated wearing shoes. He would take. That's why Little Richard and the Isley brothers used to fire him all the time. He was really like 12 and 13 working for him, but history says, but I know my father, he said, history says he was 13, 14, 15. They lied. And they would have to rush him in, let him play, and before the union or the law got there, they have to rush him out. And that's how you learn how to rock and roll. So then the thing about it is he would take his shoes off and play barefoot. And then he would take his tie off, and then little Richard would be going, wom bum baloo wom bum bam boo. You fired. Come on. What? I swear. And little Richard, here's another bit of history nobody knows, and then you could throw me out. Little Richard, my father, Jimi Hendrix, and Buddy Miles could call each other up and say, get over here. And they would come. Cool. Each way. But if a record company, a manager, an agent, wives, girlfriends, they wouldn't come.
That's the way it should be.
No, not mouse. I ain't the boss. Okay, that's enough for me.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Glad.
Thank you so much.
Maybe we could do this again sometime.
Yeah,
You're
it'd be
cool.
nice. Thank you.